Hi, welcome back everybody to another dicondissectional production hosted by Deathstroke9. Today we're going to be reacting to a song by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds called The Mercy Seat. This video is a little different than most of my reaction videos, mainly because I had no idea what I was listening to. I'm recording this intro after recording the reaction, which ended up being like 40 minutes long. When I sat down to listen to the song, I started it, and I thought maybe there was something wrong with my settings, like my audio settings, and I checked. There isn't. It took some research from me to really understand what the song was about. So about a minute into the song, I pause it, scroll down, and look at some of the comments, and I'm like, okay, so this is what it's supposed to sound like. I come back up, keep listening to it, and throughout the course of the video, the song grows on me. At the beginning, I'm very much on the fence about whether I like it or not. More specifically, I go and react to one of the live versions of it as well, which also helps me understand the song better. Then the actual lyrics, there's a ton of lyrics, lots of very heavy, dense lyricism on this one, which we get into all of that as well. And yeah, so, you know, don't feel obligated to watch this entire video. It's pretty long. If you like it, thank you. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing if you enjoy these types of things. And let's get into it.
They came and took me from my home on Woodley Dead Road, of which I'm nearly wholly innocent of. And I say again, I am not afraid to die.
Waiting, and I think my head is burning, and in a way I'm yearning to be done with all this measuring of proof. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and anyway I've told the truth, and I'm not afraid to die.
Turbid sounds and catalog, a black and tooth, the scarlet frog, the walls of bad black bottom kind, they are the sick breath at my hind, they are the sick breath at my hind.
I'm going to pause it right there. Let me just make sure I do not have any weird settings on really quick. Nope. Nope. Okay. It is intentional. Sounds like a desperate mess of overwhelming dark noise and emotion. Interesting. All right, just making sure. Let's keep going. It's very arty. I like it. I like it. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't doing anything weird.
They are the sick breath at my hind, they are the sick breath at my hind, they are the sick breath at my hind, they are the sick breath at my hind.
I hear stories from the chamber. Christ was born into a manger, like some ragged stranger died upon the cross. And might I say, it seems so fitting in his way. He was a carpenter by trade, or at least that's what I'm told.
Like my good hand tattled evil across his brother's fist, that filthy five, they did nothing to challenge or resist.
In heaven his throne is made of gold, the ark of his testament is gold, the throne from which I'm told all history does unfold. Down here it's made of a wood and wire, and my body is on fire, and God is never far away. Into the mercy seat I climb, my head is shaved, my head is wide, like the moth that tries to enter the bright eye. So I go shuffling out of life, just to hide in death a while. Anyway, I never lie.
Killing is called evil, wears a wedding band that's good, 'tis a long-suffering shotgun, coloring all that devil
And the
blood.
mercy seat is a burning, and I think my head is glowing.
This is very
In a way,
interesting.
I'm hoping to be done with all this weighing up of truth. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and I've got nothing left to lose. And I'm not afraid to die. And the mercy And I think my head is burning. And in a way I'm yearning to be done with all this measuring of proof. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And anyway there was no proof nor a move. Why the mercy seat is waiting. And I think my head is burning. And in a way I'm yearning to be done with all this measuring of proof. A life for a life and a truth for a truth. And anyway there was no proof. And I'm not afraid to die. And the mercy seat is waiting. And I think my head is smoking. And in a way I'm hoping to be done with all these looks and disbelief. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But anyway I told the truth. And I'm not afraid to die. And the mercy seat is waiting. And I think my head is burning. And in a way I'm yearning to be done with all this measuring of proof. An eye for an eye and a tooth.
The tension just keeps rising. Holy cow.
I told the truth. And I'm not afraid to die. And the mercy seat is waiting. And I think my head is burning. And in a way I'm yearning to be done with all this measuring of proof. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And anyway I told the truth. But I'm not afraid to lie. And the mercy seat is waiting. And I think my head is burning. And in a way I'm yearning to be done with all this measuring of proof. Of an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And anyway I told the truth. And I'm afraid I told a lie.
First of all, notice I'm not subscribed to them. Second, sorry if I'm not saying much. Trying to process that. It was interesting. I think I understand it from an artistic perspective. I think. And I also think I like it. I kind of want to hear the live version now because I feel like maybe that one will be less chaotic. Let's see what some of the comments say. This is just brilliant. Never get tired of it. It's a cliche to say he's the coolest man on the planet, but he really is. Intelligent, literate, free-spirited, and a magical performer. An alchemist. One of the greats. I love this song. It sounds like a total desperate mess of overwhelming dark noise. Nick Cave is truly the king of capturing these deep emotions. Beautifully articulate description. I love this song too. It has an urgency. You can hear the fear and panic. Brilliant, dark, pounding, menacing regret laced with murderous defiance. Nobody does murder and the Old Testament death quite like Nick Cave. He sings out the terror and the raw bloodlust of biblical tales of mercy, atonement, sacrifice, and ritual. The singer approaches his death with a lucid babbling and contradictory mixture of strength, weakness, remorse, and the desperate clinging to his only truth that he must die and that he is both ready and shitting himself. The song manages to describe the visceral, brutal torture of the electric chair, ironically called the mercy seat, when the only mercy it offers is a shaved head wired to electrodes, the burning, the glowing, the feeling of melting. The horror of eye for an eye justice when the justice for murder is simply murder. Mention of the kill hand tattooing evil on the unresisting other hand references the classic 1950s film Night of the Hunter, killer preacher with the symbolic love and hate tattooed across his knuckles. This is an early use of strings, too, with some wild, atonal parts that foreshadow the great Warren Ellis bringing the fear of the devil to a later incarnation of the band. Nick is smart and tasteful enough to appreciate the value of unhinged chaos within a beautiful song, a role provided by Blixa Bargeld for many years, and now by Warren, more than capably taking up the mantle. The performances, recording, and mix on this version suffer from the personal chaos in the band at the time. Flood did the best he could as a producer, but lacks the freedom, wild innovation, stereo imagination, and massive, submerged, threatening low end that Tony Cohen typically brought to much of Cave's best work. Cohen had the ability to background things that worked texturally but weren't strong performances or melodies, and to slam your face with the hooks, taking dynamic risks with a mix that should be wrong in somebody's book, but were so successful because of the close listening to the heart of the song. The Tony Cohen mixed version on Live Seeds from 1993 is more powerful and had a better mix, as often happens when a song gets played enough to settle in and the band inhabit it in a way that they hadn't yet in the earliest version. This is a song written by a younger man, still feeling the shadow hand of the invincibility of youth, and able to entertain the idea of death because of it. But the Johnny Cash version is the voice and soul of a man who has seen and faced death's devastation over and over. He brought a gravity and painful vulnerability to the song that can't be matched. Ultimately, this song was written for Cash without even knowing it, and he owned it. Very interesting. So Johnny Cash covered this. What album did he cover this on? The same one that he covered Hurt on? Well, David Bowie, 9 Inch Nails, Hurt, excellent quality. I kind of want to watch that. But so that was interesting. I want to see if I can find the live version now. Nick Cave. We're going to, I guess, do a dual reaction. I'm not sure how I'm going to edit this video, but yeah, let's do it. I want to hear it again.
I began to warm and chill to objects and their fields. A ragged cup and a twisted mop, the face of Jesus in my soup. Those sinister dinner deals, a meal trolley's wicked wheels, a hook bone rising from my food. All things good or ungood, and the mercy seat is waiting, and I think my head is a burning. In a way I'm yearning to be done with all this weight of the truth. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and anyway I told the truth, and I'm not afraid to die. Interpret silent Kellogg, a black and toothy scarlet fog. The walls are bad black bottom kind. They are the sick breath in my hind. They are the sick breath in my hind. They are the sick breath in my hind. They are the sick breath, Catherine, in my hind. And I hear stories from the chamber how Christ was born into a manger, like some ragged stranger died upon the cross. And might I say it seems so fitting in his way. He was a carpenter by trade, or at least that's what I'm told. My kill-hand tattered evil across his brother's fist. That filthy vibe did nothing to challenge or resist. And heaven is throne is made of gold, and the ark of his testament is stone. The throne from which I'm told all history does unfold. Down here it's made of a wooden wire, and my body is on fire. And God is never far away. Into the mercy seat I climb. My head is shaved, my head is wide.
I don't want to pause it. Man. All right. I think I understand the song a lot better now. Wow. I'm glad that there were comments that helped me contextualize it, I guess. Yeah. It's actually a very interesting piece of art. I did not really get what it was that I was listening to when I heard the first version. And now I think I like it. It's very much a creative choice to intentionally make your song sound like that. And now that I'm listening to it again and I'm paying closer attention to, I guess, like the rhythm and the actual, like, the presence of it, it's making me, at least, maybe not exactly, but making me feel a little bit of what the main character in the song is going through. And, yeah, that's crazy that Nick Cave is able to make me feel that, you know? Holy cow. This is actually really smart. I like it a lot. Anyway, let's hear the build up as it keeps going.
My head is shaved, my head is wide, like a mouth that tries to enter the bright eye. So I go shuffling out alive, just to hide in death a while. And anyway, I never lie. My kill head is called evil. Where's a wedding dead that's gonna teach a long suffering shackle, calling all that red blood. And the mercy seat is waiting, and I think my head is burning. In a way I'm yearning to be done with all this weighing of the truth. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And anyway I told the truth, and I'm not afraid to die. And the mercy seat is waiting, and I think my head is melting. In a way it's helping to be done with all these locks of disbelief. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And anyway I told the truth, and I'm not afraid to die. And the mercy seat is waiting, and I think my head is boiling in a way that's spoiling all the fun by all these locks of disbelief. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And anyway I told the truth, and I'm not afraid to die. And the mercy seat is waiting, and I think my head is burning. In a way I'm yearning to be done with all these locks of disbelief. A lie for a lie and a truth for a truth. And anyway there was no proof, and I'm afraid I told her.
My goodness gracious, holy cow. Johnny Cash, The Mercy Seat. I want to listen to his version too. I'm jealous of Nick's freedom to explode on stage with the urgency of a mad preacher and fire out these words and expressions and mannerisms. Songs like these are such a release. I wish I had this freedom. I wish I could go into a manic frenzy and capture people's attention with my urgency and give them something worth hearing. Yes. Freaking yes. Yes. That is, yeah. You can. I think that you can grasp it. Holy cow. Okay. Man, now we've been going for a really long time. This might not even be the version that people ask me to listen to. This is a learning experience for me. I don't even know what to say. All right, let's take a look at the lyrics. Let me do my normal stuff, then say whatever else I need to say after that. It began when they took me from my home and put me in death row, of which I am nearly wholly innocent, you know, and I'll say it again, I'm not afraid to die. I began to warm and chill to objects and their fields, a ragged cup, a twisted mop, the face of Jesus in my soup, these sinister dinner meals, the meat trolley's wicked wheels, a hooked bone rising from my food, all things either good or ungood. And the mercy seat is awaiting, and I think my head is burning, and in a way I'm yearning to be done with all this pressure of proof, of an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and anyway I've told the truth, and I'm not afraid to die. Interpret signs and catalog, a blackened tooth, a scarlet fog. The walls are bad, black bottom kind. They are the sick breath at my hind. They are the sick breath at my hind. So at the back, the breath breathing down my back, gathering at my hind. I hear stories from the chamber, how Christ was born into a manger, and like some ragged stranger died upon the cross. And might I say it seems so fitting in its way, he was a carpenter by trade, at least that's what I'm told. Like my good hand, I tattooed evil across its brother's fist. That's filthy five, they did nothing to challenge or resist. In heaven his throne is made of gold. The ark of his testament is stowed. A throne from which I'm told all history does unfold. I just found another layer to the song that I did not realize before. Holy cow. He's grasping at like a belief in an afterlife because he's about to die. This song is incredibly messed up. Wow. A throne from which I'm told all history does unfold. Down here it's made of wood and wire, and my body is on fire, and God is never far away. Into the mercy seat I climb. My head is shaved, my head is wired, and like the moth that tries to enter the bright eye, so I go shuffling out of life, just to hide in death a while. Anyway, I never lied. My kill hand is called evil, wears a wedding band that's good. 'Tis a long-suffering shackle, collaring all that rebel blood. And the mercy seat is burning, I think my head is glowing, and in a way I'm hoping to be done with all this weighing up of truth. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and I've got nothing left to lose, but I'm not afraid to die. The mercy seat is glowing, I think my head is melting, and in a way I'm helping to be done with this twisting of the truth. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and anyway I saw no proof, and not a motive why. The mercy seat is awaiting, and I think my blood is boiling, and in a way I'm spoiling all the fun by all this consequence and truth. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. I've got nothing left to lose, and I'm not afraid to die. The mercy seat is awaiting. Did we say that one already? No, we haven't. Wow, okay. Is awaiting, and I think my head is burning, and in a way I'm yearning to be done with all this measuring of proof. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and anyway there was no proof, and nor a motive why I did the thing I did. Then a repeat up till the end, and it says, anyway, I told the truth, and I'm not afraid to die. Repeat. My head is smoking. In a way, I'm hoping to be done with all of these looks of disbelief. I told the truth, I'm not afraid to die. Repeat, 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 over and over and over again. There's so much desperation at the end. Holy cow, this song is freaking like... Okay. I did not notice all of the intricacies of the chorus being repeated over and over again either. I thought he was saying the same thing over and over and over again. Alright, so the opening track of Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds album Tender Prey, the first of two, this was a single, the first of two singles released from that album. The song tells the story of a man about to be executed by the electric chair. The mercy seat refers both to the throne of God in the heavens, which the man feels he will soon visit, and to the electric chair itself. According to website Collector's Hell, which documents Nick Cave's set list throughout 2011, the Mercy Seat is by far the most often performed song by the band, being included in almost every concert since its release. It's one of Cave's signature songs and has been covered by a number of artists, including Johnny Cash. A life for a life, one time, he says. Okay. Alright, so they come, take him from his home, put them in death row. The prisoner proclaims innocence, but also subtly hints at his guilt. As the song progresses, the protagonist slowly inches towards both external confession and internal realization of the fact that he did it. Throughout the song, the mantra, I'm not afraid to die, is repeated by the criminal. The repeated assertion is more of a terrified attempt to come to terms with death than it is a proud statement of fact. The criminal's every word overflows with fear and desperate search for some religious salvation. The very last line of the song establishes that the criminal did tell a lie, meaning that he did commit the murder, he is going to hell, and is in fact afraid to die. The very last line of the song. Okay, this thing, it says the only lie is that he's been afraid of dying. Okay, so this person interpreted as tell a lie, meaning that he committed the murder. The next person interpreted the line as the lie means he's afraid of dying, or that he is actually afraid, and he's just telling himself that he isn't. The song is an allegory of life as a jail, and mercy seat as the death we all face in the search for atonement. Okay. So, unmotivated seeing of connections accompanied by a specific experience of abnormal meaningfulness. It has come to represent the human tendency to seek patterns in random information, such as with gambling and paranormal phenomenon. The onset of schizophrenia is characterized by this habit. Being put on death row could definitely make one develop this. To objects in their fields, a ragged cup, a twisted mop, the face of Jesus, and my soup. So he's seeing signs by this point. He has to. Holy cow. I'm sorry if I'm just being if I'm just like reiterating myself a lot, but it's crazy to me how much emotion and meaning is being packed into every inflection of every line of this song. The song shows the problem of the relationship between the law and forgiveness. An entire verse of him looking at things and finding meaning in them when they don't have it. The line also refers to the idea of a last meal, a special meal provided for a prisoner who is about to be executed. Some people have unconventional choices. What was the one? Wait. Never got my SpaghettiOs guy? Yeah. All right. A person's skin will literally melt when being electrified. It is a horrific death, to be sure. In this instance, the author is expressing his fever in hyperbole. The burning represents the spiritual longing, as if his desires are consuming his being. The mercy seat refers not only to the electric chair where the narrator will die, but the throne of God, where he will then be judged. The eye for an eye has its origins in ancient Iraq. The rule was meant to moderate the violent reprisals common in ancient Babylon, meaning that one should only take an eye for an eye and not perpetuate an endless cycle of retribution. There are passages in the Bible endorsing the eye for an eye concept. Christians who believe the primacy of Jesus' New Testament teachings generally feel they're repudiated by the source of the turn the other cheek, where he says, "You've heard that it has been said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you, that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. And if any man will sue thee at the law, and take away thy coat, let him have thy cloak also. And whomsoever shall compel thee to go a mile, go with him 2. Give to him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow of thee, turn not thou away." Cave attests his innocence. He claims he never committed the crime he is accused of and does not fear death. Evidently, in the last line, we find out this is not the case. The band Thrice, likely inspired by the song, explores the same scenario in Wood and Wire from the perspective of a man who actually is innocent. Yeah, so in a way, the song also has a little bit of commentary on the idea of the death penalty, which I'm not even going to go there, but it's interesting. More of this. Okay. What is this image? Okay. The walls are bad. The hind is a ship, so his cell walls are carrying... Oh, okay, that's what hind meant. Never mind. A hind is a ship, so the cell walls are carrying him steadily towards death. The line also suggests that death is following him closely. This person says hind is his back, which is kind of what I thought. This person says a hind is a female deer. All right. His hind is at his back or the area just behind him. The sick breath gathering there is the spirit of the various forms of corruption around him. As he cataloged moldy walls, blackened tooth, scarlet fog, so conjuring images of neglect, darkness, death, disfigurement, pain, decay, blood, terror, obstruction, and the unknown. Like breath, they don't hurt him physically, but like breath, there is only one way for him to escape them. Then we've got Christianity claims that Jesus was born in a stable or a cave near an inn that was full. He was laying in a manger. Religion is something that is frequently pushed in prison, and the prisoner is hearing biblical stories from his cell. Okay, one of the statements is that he had no place to lay his head. Okay. It is ironic that Jesus, a carpenter, would be killed on a big piece of wood. Abstractly, he died elevated above the ground for all men to look up to. As a rambler who traveled his entire life, he died pinned to the spot. There are many, many theories about the symbolism of Christ's death on the cross. Okay. Okay. The narrator is delusional and refuses to take any responsibility for his actions. He anthropomorphizes his hands to represent good and bad. He blames the hand tattooed evil for committing the crime and blames the other or brother hand for not stopping the evil one. Okay, so he's... Oh, so he's thinking of himself as innocent and the hands as the things that did the thing. Yeah. Which reminds me, isn't there a verse in the Bible that says if your hand would cause you to do evil, cut it off, or if your eye would cause you to do evil, chop it out, or whatever, cut it out? Like if your right eye, yeah. A serial killer disguised as a preacher in the movie The Night of the Hunter, yeah. There it is. If thy right eye offends thee, pluck it out, cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not thy whole body should be cast into hell. Yeah. The mercy seat was one of the items which was stowed in the Ark of the Covenant. It is believed that the entire universe was created by God, therefore all history has unfolded since the beginning of time has its genesis in God. Okay. The mercy seat down here is the electric chair, contrasted with God's seat in heaven, which is presumably much nicer. The narrator is feeling understandably nervous about being so close to his own death. He feels that God is close because he believes that he is as close as he has ever been to meeting him. Electrodes are placed... Jack Skellington. Are placed on the head of the condemned. The fresh shave, always done a few minutes before, makes the body a better conductor for electricity. Moths are drawn to light. The narrator is drawn to the light of God as he approaches his death. This diminishes the importance of character while also characterizing his spiritual longings as a compulsion. The narrator is hoping that death is not as permanent as he thinks it is. It is a much more palatable way to digest the idea of your impending death, to think of it as a quick, relaxing vacation that one can return from instead of the endless void that it likely is to just hide in death for a while. The question is, which lie is he referring to? He has effectively confessed to the murder when he blamed his kill hand, so the lie is not his innocence. Instead, it is his assertion that he is not afraid to die, one that he desperately repeats until his final second. The narrator reveals that the hand used to commit the crime wears a wedding ring, meaning that it is his left hand. It would be ironic if he'd killed his spouse with his wedding ring hand. Okay. Here, the narrator takes the idea of a ball and chain literally. To him, his wedding ring is more a prison sentence than anything else, and it is now covered in blood. Huh. And then we come to the chorus over and over and over again. Cave attests his innocence. Okay, yeah. Just repeats and repeats, and there's not really any more comments on here. And as it changes, it kind of, he's helping us, understand all of the different things that he's going through, because he's led to the mercy seat, and that's it. This video is almost 40 minutes long. Holy cow. All right. I really liked that, actually. Now I want to hear more by this guy. So let me know what other songs I should check out by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. And I like arty stuff. I like strange, weird, experimental things, you know? Specifically, like here, a lot of times I'll listen to experimental stuff and it'll be experimental for the sake of being experimental, which I always think is cool. But this right here is experimental for the sake of conveying the emotions of the song better. I feel like that is very admirable. And when I make music, I try to make it weird. I try to make experimental stuff as well, just strange, weird sounding stuff. Sometimes I'll end up with a 15-minute long song and stuff like that. And I think that I am inspired by this in a way. So, yeah, huge thank you to the people who requested this. Again, I'm not sure how this video went, to be totally honest with you. Because people requested the live version. I don't remember which live version you guys asked for, but I started with the studio version, which was very I feel like it's kind of difficult to listen to, especially without like the context of what the song is about. So I guess it probably made a good reaction, right? But yeah, thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you guys soon. Deathstroke 9 out. This was fun to make though, so thanks for watching if you're still here.